guys. Does it work? Yeah, cool. Actually, I feel better holding this. Is that okay? Yeah, cool. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about the Kosovo Olympic team. It's a project that I really love, and I've been working on it for, let's say 4 years right now. And I'm just going to basically introduce to you the Kosovo Olympic team and why I'm really excited for them. This year is going to be, well, it's a really big year for Kosovo because it's the first time in history that they're allowed to compete at the Olympic Games. And if I'm nervous, that's like nothing based on, imagine competing at the Olympics and how nervous you'd be before you're about to compete. I'm really inspired by the Kosovo Olympic team. And I'm a photographer, and I work a lot on different photography projects. I do a lot of documentary projects that are behind the scenes, where I'm not so interested in the big heroic moments you see somebody winning a gold medal, whatever. I'm always interested in all the hard graft that goes on behind the scenes and all the athletes sort of working really hard. I've done quite a lot of documentary projects where I've documented different athletes. And I did a shoot a while ago with a Team GB sprinter, and he just really impressed me with his philosophy and his attitude, and I was really inspired meeting him. And I did a project 2 years ago now at the World Cup, where I wasn't so interested in the football or in the matches or in who won. I was really interested in all the crowd. So I did this project called Watching the World Cup, where I documented different people all around Brazil, in hospital, waiting rooms, on a farm, in an old folks' home, all coming together to watch the World Cup. And I guess what really inspires me about the World Cup and about these sporting events is that, quite simply, it just brings people together, and it's just a really special moment for everybody. So this is some of the moments. I've never hugged so many crying people in my whole life as the World Cup final on Copacabana Beach. All the Argentinians were bawling their eyes out. It was really sad. And so I should just start off by saying that this is a team project. My friends at the back, they all recognize this fridge, because it's my fridge. And in the center there, this is my fridge has got loads of Polaroids on it, and this is the Kosovo Olympic team. So Gav, he's currently in Portland, he's our DP. Ian and Joe, they're on the fridge too, they're up in Edinburgh. And Basim Hassani, he's the head of the Kosovo Olympic Committee. But this is part of the crew working on the project. There's a lot of other people involved on this, so that's us filming in Kosovo. So to give you a bit of background to Kosovo, in case you don't know about the country, it's a really small country. There it is. Geographically, it's 1/6 of the size of Scotland, so it's tiny. It's about the same size as Jamaica, and it's got a population of 2 million people, and also 75% of the population are under 35 years old, so it's a really young country. It's a really small country, and it's a really new country, because after the war with Serbia in 1998 to 1999, they had 10 years of UN occupation, and then they finally declared independence in 2008. So they're really small, really young, really new, and they're really they're really excited to be able to compete in the Olympics finally. And I got involved in this project kind of by accident, because I was in Kosovo on a school trip, and I was at a barbecue, and I happened to meet a guy called Basim, and we ended up having a quick, a chat, basically. And at the time, everybody was really, really excited about the London Olympics, which was amazing, and Danny Boyle absolutely smashed it. I don't know who watched the opening ceremony. Everybody. It was amazing, wasn't it? It was mind-blowing. I was so impressed. And but yeah, so I spoke to Basim about it, and he was a bit sad, really, because Kosovo weren't allowed to compete, and their top athletes had to all compete for Albania. And he just basically told me about it standing by a fire, and I was really impressed by him, and I was really inspired by him too, because he just spoke about it with such passion, and he told me about how he was trying to make it possible for the athletes to be able to compete at Rio. And sort of as a joke, I wasn't joking, but I just said to him after I finished my beer, I was like, Basim, if Kosovo get a chance to compete at Rio, I'd love to come back and make a documentary. And we shook on it, and he thought I was joking, but I wasn't. And so I basically followed Kosovo, and I sort of was really following them in the news and seeing when they would finally be allowed to compete as an Olympic nation. And so this is Basim's office in Pristina in Kosovo. And so basically in September 2014, they got the nod that Kosovo was on the Olympic agenda. And then it was official in December 2014. So then the next year, me and some friends went on a road trip around Kosovo because we were just really curious to go and meet the athletes who are representing Kosovo and find out who they are and what it's going to feel like for them to be able to compete for their country. It's like a huge moment for them. So I'm going to introduce you to a few of the athletes. And first of all, I'll say as well, for Basim, he became president of the Kosovo Olympic Committee in 1996. So this has really been his life's work, trying to get Kosovo the chance to compete. And the amount of bureaucracy involved is crazy. So to compete as an Olympic nation, you need to fulfill 3 criteria. Number 1 is you need to be an independent country. Number 2, you need to be recognized by a majority of the international community. And number 3, you need to have 5 sports recognized at international level. So he set up the Kosovo Ping Pong Federation, Kosovo Weightlifting Federation, Kosovo Gymnastics Federation, and this is just a little slice of the bureaucracy involved in that process, which is huge. So this project's happened really organically. Every time we've gone and met an athlete, I'm just always really inspired and impressed by them. And this is one of the things that Basim told me. You know, they tried to take it all away from us. So we turned basements into gyms, bedrooms into classrooms, and fields into pitches. Before the war with Serbia, they weren't really allowed to have like sporting competitions. So it's a really big deal for them now to be able to compete in the Olympic Games. So I'm going to introduce you to the team, which is most important of all. This guy here is Hazir, and he is absolutely a lovely guy. Hazir is Kosovo's top archer, and well, I really hope he makes it to Rio. We're not quite sure yet who will make it through to compete in Rio yet, because they need to reach the Olympic norm. But yeah, I've really got my fingers crossed for him. So he doesn't really have anywhere to train, so he's training basically right now here on, which is like a football pitch. So the first time I watched him train was amazing because we had to wait until the football players from the local football club had finished their match. And then we listened to the prayer call from the local mosque. And then he rolled out his big archery practice target and had a go. And he's just a really inspiring guy. This is his really impressive fancy bow, but the first bow he ever shot with was one his mum bought him. And he competed at the World Championships with this bow, and he did quite well. So I really hope he makes it to Rio. His father sadly died in the war, fighting for the Kosovo Liberation Army, so it's a really, really big deal for him, and it would mean a lot to him to be able to compete in the Games. So fingers crossed for Hazir. This is Armand. He's a boxer. He's an absolutely lovely guy as well. And I think what's really struck me about meeting the team is just that they're all so humble and hardworking, and I just find them very inspiring. So this is Hazir. This is Armand, the boxer. And this is his coach. And it's also been really interesting too to meet all of their coaches too and find out the stories of the coaches. Now, Kosovo is a tiny country, like I said. It's only got 2 million people, but they've got the world #1 judo champion, Mylinda Kalmendi, who is amazing. She's so impressive. And it was really interesting too, because when we first went to Kosovo, we didn't even get to meet Mylinda because she was away competing, I think, in China. But we met all of her mates, and we were just really impressed meeting her mates because they were all really inspired by her, and there's a lot of love for Mylinda in Kosovo. She's basically like David Beckham of Kosovo, and she's a national hero. She's amazing. And what's really cool about them is that they train in total silence. It's really mesmerizing to watch. So this is their gym in Peja where they train, which is incredible. And sometimes you feel a bit like you're in the Swiss Alps because it's a really beautiful location. And they're incredible. And Mylinda's colleague, she won a bronze at Baku, and it was the first time that Kosovo had won a medal in a giant tournament. So it's really, really exciting for the country. And yeah, I hope Mylinda does very well. Let's see. But yeah, I hope she does very well. I think she will. And then this is Kendrim. He's like the cyclist. He's also super lovely. Everybody in Kosovo is so lovely and friendly. So I should just add that in case you didn't guess. But and basically, when I first met Kendrim, was sweating because he'd just been cycling for 120k, and he does that every single day, which is amazing. And he just cycles through his local town. It's really cool to watch him cycle because everybody like waves at him, everybody knows him. He won a prize of like the best athlete in the village. So like all the local kids chase him, like the girls wave at him. It's really sweet. He's a lovely guy. And this is the coach's son as well, who trains with him. And he actually had an accident and he broke his pelvis. He was out for about 4 months, but he's back on his bike now, cycling again. So, but yeah, we hope he'll make it to Rio. And then this is Kosovo's rifle champion. She's absolutely lovely as well. And the thing that's great about her is that she's also a primary school teacher. So as well as being rifle champion, she teaches the primary ones. But she's so sweet, and also her and her cousin's Kosovo's champion of shooting pistol with one arm, with one hand. So it's amazing watching them compete too. And their coach used to be Yugoslavian rifle champion. I think he won 4 times in a row. He's a really cool guy as well. And then this is Rita, and wasn't sure if I was going to show this or not, but sorry. Rita very kindly gave me your T-shirt, which is really sweet. I just thought I'd show it to you now. I was really chuffed that she gave this to me. Yeah. I got thumbs up from loads of people walking around petrol stations in Kosovo. I was really chuffed. I'm a terrible swimmer, but Rita's amazing as well because when she's been swimming now for about 4 years, and she's been swimming now for about 9 years. And when she first started swimming, there wasn't really any good swimming pools in Kosovo, so she would have to get the bus every day to Macedonia, and so she would spend 4 hours per day on the bus just to train. And in the end, like her and all her teammates, I mean, it's crazy. In the end, her dad actually quit his job and built a swimming pool in the basement so that they could all train together. And now there's a lot of athletes, a lot of swimmers who are training there every single day. And I mean, I just think she's really inspiring. And then, like, the whole team are inspiring. I can't show you the whole team because we don't have enough time, but I'm really, really happy for them. I hope they make it. And then the last guys I'm going to show you this is the athletics coach, Denny. He's a lovely guy. He also doesn't really have anywhere for his athletes to train, so he built them a training facility in the mountains. And this is the pull-up bar that he's fit, man. This guy is fit. And actually, Gav, our DP, he was able to do a few, but I'm not strong enough, unfortunately. But yeah, so the athletes will train there in the mountains, and every day they do like different track starts and stuff. And he also built like a summer camp as well where they can train. And it's just like a hut in the mountains where they train. They spend like a month there. And here's some shots of them. And yeah, so this is the Kosovo Olympic team. And right now, so just to give another bit of background to it. So basically, I did an exhibition about this project last year as part of the Independent Photography Festival. And we did that at Peckham Springs, and that was just a really, really good laugh. And it was to introduce the team. And then also Freytag Anderson, sorry, I should go back. They designed the logo for us to support the team. And the more we work on this project and the more we meet the athletes, the more we're kind of inspired by them and the more we want to help them. So the best way really to tell this story is through making a film. So this is what we're working on right now. And I've been out there with my pals, who I showed you at the start, Jordan and Ian. So we're basically shooting a film about the Kosovo Olympic team right now, and it's called Go Kosovo. So yeah, hopefully I'll share. I can't share it with you just yet, but I'll share it with you when it's ready. But we're gonna do several trips back to Kosovo to go and record the team at this big time in history for them. And one thing I just say, I guess to finish, is that Basim told me, these athletes, when they compete in Rio, they're going to compete with a heart in their mind, and they're going to make history. So I hope when they step out into the Olympic Stadium, you'll cheer them on as much as I will. And there's Joe and Ian, started in on that side. This is Kosovo Independence Day. The car was doing laps around the car park, so we jumped on for a laugh. So yeah, cheers. Thank you.